Welcome in to I Remember My First Time. Oh, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
Damn it!
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings,
Oh my god, that sounds delightful.
where we talk about movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
Oh yeah, that sounds really good.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
God, I hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
We love shitty movies. Sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Absolutely not.
But do we love movies?
We love the fucking shit out of movies. And this week we have an actual masterpiece. Voted number 2 in Channel 4's greatest family films. Ranked number 8 on the American Film Institute's list of the 10 greatest films in the genre animation, and the only non-Disney or Pixar film on the list. We have 2001 Shrek.
Jacob, in the morning, I'm making waffles.
BJ, that'll do, donkey. That'll do.
I am swamp-dwelling monster, BJ Leica.
Joined as always by me, Noble Steed Jacobicus.
So, this week, we have Shrek, dude.
Incredible story. Incredible movie. Everything about this movie is incredible.
You were asking me what movie I wanted to do, and I texted you. I was like, would you hate me if I said, let's do Shrek?
Yeah, the answer is absolutely not. Shrek's amazing.
Shrek's so good. Shrek is described by, I think, maybe the first movie I've seen on Peacock. Why did I squeak when I said Peacock right there?
Because you squeak every time you say the word cock. That's why we say. That's why we say dick on this podcast. Show us your dick, Michael Douglas.
We got it out of the way early this week.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you, Peacock. Which has this summary: in order to save his home, a monster with a donkey makes a deal with a mean lord to rescue a beautiful princess.
Pretty good.
7.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
88% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And a fantastic 84 Metacritic score, which is super high for Metacritic.
Is that our highest all around, like highest average movie on all three? If it's not, it's fucking up there.
It's got to be close.
Sweet.
I knew this about 20 minutes into the movie, but what do you think Raj thought of this movie?
Oh, Raj loves this movie.
Roger Ebert gives this 4 stars out of 4.
Nice.
This movie...
That's the first 4 out of 4 we've gotten from Roger, isn't it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. And this movie's made for Roger Ebert,
okay,
who starts his review with, "This is not your average family cartoon. Shrek is jolly and wicked, filled with sly in-jokes, and yet somehow possessing loads of heart."
Yep.
The movie has been so long in the making at DreamWorks that the late Chris Farley was originally intended to voice the jolly green ogre in the title role. All that work has paid off. The movie is astonishing visual delight with animation techniques that seem lifelike and fantastical both at once. Ending the review with, "Shrek is not handsome, but he isn't as ugly as he thinks. He's a guy we want as our friend, and he doesn't frighten us, but stirs our sympathy. He's so immensely likable that I suspect he may emerge as an enduring character, populating sequels and spin-offs. One movie cannot contain him."
Hell yeah.
Roger Ebert, the predictor of the future. Raj Stradamus.
Rod Stradamus, get the fuck out of here. So the budget, the film reached the 100 million mark after 11 days, equaling the time it took Toy Story 2 and The Lion King to tie for the fastest animated film to reach the 100 million mark. But it passed the 150 million mark on its 18th day of release, making it the fastest animated film ever to reach that mark. It became the second biggest animated hit of all time behind Disney's The Lion King.
I know it was incredibly popular when it came out.
Yeah. The budget, $60 million, so $103 million today, which considering that this is one of the first like animated films like this, that's kind of low, I think.
Yeah, that's probably about what I thought it would be.
Wait until I read you the trivia. I mean, this thing was in production from 95 to 2001.
Wow.
Like 60 million is not a lot. I got more on that later though. But anyways, its total box office run $484 million in 2001.
Holy shit!
830 million today.
That is worth the wait. How long it took them to get this thing out?
Yep.
That is a monster box office.
Basically saved DreamWorks, saved the studio. Not basically, it did.
It did.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the budget for you. What's next? Movie review. So BJ, tell you've already said it's a great movie. How'd you feel watching it?
Nostalgic, happy, just felt really good. Everything felt right watching this movie. It does the typical storyline while poking fun at the typical storyline. There's not a dull moment in this movie. It's so good. It's so well done. It's so funny. It's so charming. It's a great movie. Not just good, it's great.
Yeah, this movie is a great movie, and I love how much I still laugh out loud at all of the things. Like I've seen this movie probably 20 or 30 times, and it has yet to get old. And rewatching this for the first time in I think 5 or 6 years, I realize how many quotes I quote from this movie on a consistent basis. So much shit.
Yeah, and the quote master of this movie is Eddie Murphy.
100%. 100%. So, speaking of that, what we liked about this movie, Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers in the titular roles. They're so good. I'll go ahead and bring it up now with just how good everybody was. But check this shit out. This will blow your mind, because it blew mine. The principal actors never met each other. They all read their parts separately, with the reader feeding them the lines. John Lithgow later admitted that while he enjoyed playing Lord Farquaad, he was a little disappointed he never actually worked directly with Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, or Eddie Murphy. Like, just that chemistry that they all had was not recorded at the same time. I love that.
Especially the Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy chemistry, because watching this movie, it seemed like Mike Myers was legitimately annoyed with Eddie Murphy at times.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like baffles me that they never actually met, because it seemed like he was just so annoyed with Eddie Murphy's shenanigans.
Yeah. So that I loved all the characters' interactions with each other. Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers. What else did I like?
Lithgow's great too.
Oh, I love Lord Farquaad. John Lithgow's amazing. What would you like?
The soundtrack's so awesome.
Oh, the soundtrack is so good in this movie.
It's like when I was watching it, I was like, I don't care for most of these songs as individual songs, but they work so well in this movie, and I don't understand how that works.
So well. They're so good. Anything you didn't like about the movie?
No, not a thing. Literally not one thing I didn't like. I loved them poking fun of the fairy tales. I love the fairy creature cameos. No, there's nothing I didn't like about this movie.
Yeah.
Not for a second.
And if you don't believe that this movie is made for the two hosts of the podcast you're listening to right now, there's a fucking wrestling match 30 minutes in.
Oh, we'll get to this one.
We'll get there.
Because Shrek's got some moves, man.
And we've already said it's a great movie. Don't need to rehash that question. Great fucking movie.
Yeah, not even good. Great.
Fine, BJ.
Are we going deep into this cartoon?
We're going so deep into this cartoon. At least 6 inches. Balls deep, baby.
On a good day.
On a good day. You're goddamn right.
I will go first. I got to tell you, this was hard.
So, yeah, but let's just go ahead and get this out of the way now. This is a true Mount Rushmore.
There's not a scene. If you put any scene on this movie, I would not question you.
Yeah, so this is a true Mount Rushmore because they're all just equally as great.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to put my number 4 as how do I want to say this? It is the after Shrek and Donkey save Fiona, them going through the forest. When the robbers mug them and start singing that obnoxious song and Fiona kicks their ass. I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard at the song. I laughed so hard at Fiona kicking their ass. I loved Fiona waking up and whistling and the birds gathering around her. And then she takes their eggs and fries up their eggs.
After blowing them up with her voice.
It's just so great. So stupid. So cheesy. We get wonderful.
We get a montage out of this scene too.
Yes.
And you're the montage king.
There's several montages in this movie, so
3. And they're all incredible. No, 4 if you count the intro.
Yeah.
4 fucking montages.
Just what a scene. Them falling in love in such a great, cheesy, awesome way. It's a really good scene. It was so hard to put it at 4.
Yeah. My 4 is gonna be Shrek and Donkey in the castle saving Fiona. Oh, you got such big teeth. I mean, beautiful. Because you're a girl dragon. Of course you're a girl dragon. Feminine beauty. Oh, it was so funny. Shrek, where are you going? Well, I have to save my ass. So fucking funny.
Such a lame joke that I laughed out loud. A joke that lame, I laughed out loud in this movie.
Yeah. Because it's so good. Going down on the rocks on the slide of rock pillars and just getting launched right in the ass.
Oh, that thing went deep up his asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. You knew it whenever he got off, he was like, oh my God, he couldn't move for a second. Fuck.
I mean, that thing tickled the prostate.
Exactly. Such a funny scene. I started with them crossing the bridge, of course. Yes, do it. Okay. Shrek, I'm looking down. So good. All right.
I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of rickety ladders going over lava.
Yeah. You know how you said ogres were like onions? Yeah. Well, donkeys, we wear our feelings right out on our sleeves, but you don't have any sleeves. Oh, so good. You're number 3.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with the ending. Shrek breaking up the wedding, Fiona turning into the permanent ogre, and
we'll do this as my number 3 too, because it's on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, the wedding afterwards. The wedding afterwards was my favorite part, when Fiona threw the bouquet and Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty were fighting over it, and then the dragon just rips it and looks at Eddie Murphy like, "Hey baby, guess what?"
Hey baby, hey. I loved Donkey. I'm a donkey on the edge.
You gotta wait until the priest says, does anybody have any objections? Which, one of my goals in life is to go to a wedding where somebody stands up and says, I object. I want to see that at a wedding. Movies have taught me that it happens. And as many weddings as I've been to, I haven't seen it once.
And it's bullshit. I also love the celebrity marriages. Never last, do they?
Again, I laughed out loud at that lame-ass joke.
So good.
I also have to mention Fiona pushing Lord Farquaad down in the cake to make him shorter.
Yes. Speaking of other lame jokes, them making fun of his height, I laughed every time they did it.
I'm sorry, Short Kings. This movie's mean to y'all.
Whatever. I'm not sorry. This was fucking funny. Y'all are just jealous that you can't measure up to King like Lord Farquaad. Yeah, well, when you meet him, we'll let you do the measuring.
I was just saying a short goodbye.
Okay, your number 2 scene.
Let's bring it up. Shrek wrestling, baby. The whole
Me
bad
too.
reputation starts playing, and he starts just wrecking fools. And he goes in the wrestling ring, double clothesline off the ropes, hits him with a 5-star frog splash, multiple drop kicks, a pile driver.
Yep.
Fucking Shrek's got moves.
Shrek's got mad moves. This is my number 2 as well, because it's so good.
And bad reputation playing in the background.
Yeah.
Awesome ass-kicking song.
Can't we settle this over a pint? I'd love to start it like that. I do take it through. It's one of my favorite moments in movie history when Shrek is trying to explain the complexity of ogres. Like directly after the wrestling match, they're let go to go save Princess Fiona. Ogres are like onions. They stink.
They're smelly?
No. Yeah, they're because y'all both stink? Yes. No. Oh, when you leave them out in the sun too long, they dry up brown like raisins. No. Layers. They got layers. You're like, not everybody likes onions, though. Cake. Everybody loves cake.
Parfaits might be the most underrated food.
No, he goes, parfaits might be the most delicious thing in the whole damn planet.
Parfaits are great.
Hey, Donkey was right. Eddie Murphy was right.
I get it. It's yogurt, granola, and fruit. Awesome.
Yep. Since our last 2 scenes have been the same, I'm going to go with my number 1 first because I bet we have the same one and I want to say it.
Okay.
The whole intro.
Yeah. Yep. When Smash Mouth's All-Star starts playing, I'm in the fucking mood for this movie.
Yep. I'm in the mood for this movie. Like, he's reading. I remember watching this the first time, and he's sitting there reading the book, and he's like, that's ever gonna happen, and then rips it and uses it as toilet paper. I'm like, I'm in. This fucking rocks. And I don't know how long you take it. I would assume you take it all the way to where Shrek and Donkey meet up. I take it up to right before the fairy tale creatures show up. When he tells Donkey he's got to sleep outside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I have to have where he goes, you in what army? And he turns around and all the guys have scrammed.
Yep.
So funny.
Whenever he yells at all the townspeople, and this is the part where you run away.
What a great freaking montage at the beginning of this. There's no better way to set the tone for this movie than what they do in the first 4 minutes.
100%. I know. I stick with you. You a mean green fight machine. Together we'll scare the pants out of anybody who frightens us.
And I do shout out to Smash Mouth. She was looking kind of dumb with a finger in her thumb and the shape of an L on her forehead. No one knows what he says there. But
no, of course
that's a shitty song that is so great in this movie.
Agreed. We basically had the same Mount Rushmore. I'm glad our number 4 scene was different.
And like I said, any scene in this movie you could choose. But I'm gonna be honest, I think there's only like 6 scenes in this movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, as Mount Rushmore scene, it looks on my notes like we actually have a movie-related talk scheduled this week.
We do. Is this the best animated movie ever?
Let's see. What are the runners up against it? The Incredibles is one of my favorite.
Toy Story.
Monsters, Inc.
Monsters, Inc.'s great. The Lion King's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
Into the Spider-Verse is so much fun.
I don't really want to count comic book animated movies, though.
Yeah. Up and WALL-E are both real. I think Up and WALL-E are a step below.
WALL-E annoys the shit out of me.
I think WALL-E's great. I think Up and WALL-E both kind of a step below those other ones that we mentioned.
Okay.
But
okay,
I think
so we have a big enough sample size now. So we have The Incredibles, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, The Lion King. What was the other one?
And Well, I said Into the Spider-Verse, but you hadn't seen it.
Okay, so we have those 4. Man, is Shrek the best one out of those 5? I don't know, but I wouldn't be upset if you said so.
I haven't seen all those movies recently enough and close enough together, but I can, without question, say this is a top 5 animated movie of all time.
I agree.
There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, totally agree. Oh, right. Character breakdown.
There's literally 4 characters in this movie.
Well, we have to talk about a 5th one because I quote him all the time. And we'll start off with him because why not? But the gingerbread man.
Okay.
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? She's married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man!
Hit him with crutches after Lord Farquaad dips his leg in milk and bites it off.
Yeah. Not the gumdrop buttons.
I think the Muffin Man really shines in the second Shrek.
Okay. I it's been so long since I've seen the second Shrek. People say that the second Shrek is better than the first one, and I don't know if I agree with that.
It's more adult than the first one. There's more nudge, nudge, wink, wink jokes, but I don't think it's a better movie.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it in a while, so.
But we have to start with the main guy, Mike Myers, Shrek. It cost the studio $5 million more because Mike Myers wanted to re-record the whole thing with a Scottish accent. They had the whole movie recorded. And on a test screening, Mike Myers listened to it and was like, I want to redo everything with the Scottish accent.
Hey, what if Fat Bastard voiced Shrek?
Exactly. But
when's the Austin Powers podcast?
Whenever. I'm so down. Doesn't matter. Oh, man. What else do you want to say about Mike Myers as Shrek? He's amazing. He's Mike Myers. This is our second Mike Myers movie.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is our second Mike Myers movie. And Mike Myers is going to be a regular on this pod because he's fucking amazing. Does incredible with this character. I love Shrek.
Yeah, I can't imagine this without Scottish accent Shrek.
Me neither. I can't imagine this with Chris Farley.
Eddie Murphy has so much energy, and obviously Chris Farley is the epitome of energy.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie might have been obnoxious with Chris Farley.
With Chris Farley, it was a completely different script, different storyline, different bunch of different things going on. So, who knows?
All right.
Donkey.
Is this Eddie Murphy coming right off of the tranny scandal?
I have no idea.
Okay, I feel like it was, but I could be.
I feel like that was
mistaken my timeline.
The early 90s.
Okay,
but I'm not sure. Not like it matters. Is this Eddie Murphy's best movie?
I do love Coming to America. I still love Coming to America to this day, but it's not far off. He's certainly better in this than he is Boomerang.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is our second Eddie Murphy movie. Shit.
Yeah.
Nice. This might not be Eddie Murphy's best movie, but if you told me it was, if that was your opinion, I wouldn't argue with you.
This is maybe the best voice acting performance in an animated movie.
Yeah. Which is funny because Mike Myers is killing it as Shrek in this movie.
Yeah, and Eddie Murphy's now his role is to be the funny guy. Myers is essentially the straight man in this movie. So you've got that going, but this it's such a great voice acting performance that off the top of my head, I can't think of one that's better.
Yeah. Cameron Diaz as our girl Fiona.
She does a great job.
I like Fiona's character a lot.
It is a really good character. I don't know. I don't remember. Do they kind of dive deeper into her character in the other movies? Because I'd like to see that.
Yes, they do.
Okay, good. Cameron Diaz is one of those actresses where I don't know if she's ever done anything where I didn't like her performance.
That's fair.
There may have been movies she's done that I haven't liked, but I've never not liked her performances.
I can get behind that thought. Lord Farquaad. Love John.
Lithgow.
Love John Lithgow. The two movies that I know John Lithgow from for sure, 100%, is this movie and Cliffhanger.
That's right. He's in Cliffhanger.
He is the bad guy.
I knew John Lithgow from the NBC hit comedy Third Rock from the Sun.
Nice. Never seen it.
I don't know why I watched so much Third Rock from the Sun when I was a kid.
Because it was good. John Lithgow, baby.
And what's his name? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Young Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
And what?
Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, that's right.
And French Stewart. Why do I remember French Stewart?
I have no idea. But yeah, Lord Farquaad was great. I loved how they made fun of his stature. I loved it. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. So good.
Him torturing the gingerbread man was I was kind of shocked that we both left that out. But like we said, it's hard to eliminate any scene. Him torturing the gingerbread man is so funny.
It's quality stuff.
I
love that they just had a torture scene in a kid's movie. Awesome.
Good stuff all around. All these characters are perfect.
Yep. Are you ready for an insane amount of trivia?
I'm sure there is for this beloved classic.
IMDb changes the way they do their mobile pages now. And when I first got on, it was earlier today, and I first got on and there was like only 4 pieces of trivia. And I was like, really? That's weird. Okay. Because I wasn't going to look up anymore. I'm like, my job's done. And then later, as I'm watching this movie before we start recording, because, I just, whatever, didn't have time till right before, I'm looking at the trivia and then I see load 50 more. And I was like, fuck. And I had to load 50 more twice, and then there was spoiler stuff. No, 3 times. So,
for an animated kids movie that has 4 characters.
Yeah. Luckily, I have seen this movie 20 or 30 times and was able to do both things. Anyways, to start off the trivia.
Hey, hang on. Had Nemma seen this movie before?
No, it's her first time.
What'd she think?
She thought it was good. I don't know if she thought it was great, but she gave it a 7 out of 10. And for someone that doesn't watch or like animated movies, we're going to go with that being pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's about as low a score as I can see anybody giving this movie.
Yeah, because it's just a good movie all around. To start off trivia, thought this was cool. Shrek received his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
How big are the handprints?
That's good. This film was the first winner for the inaugural Best Animated Film category of the Academy Awards in 2001. The actual Oscar itself is now on display at the Academy Museum in LA, donated by the recipient, producer Aaron Warner.
They didn't have Best Animated Picture in the Oscars until 2001?
I guess not. Not according to IMDb.
We're not doing extra research, so...
Nope. Shrek means monster in Yiddish and is derived from the German word Schreck, which means terror or fright. The character of Shrek is based on a figure of the same name in Russian folklore dating as far back as 1200 CE.
Is CE the new AD? Yeah. Okay.
CE means Common Era.
Do I have to start calling shit that now?
I don't know. Do you still think Pluto is a planet?
It actually is a planet again. They reinstated it as a planet.
Yeah, so you basically answered my question no matter what. Call it whatever the fuck you want. Nothing's real.
You should have went with, do you call it Uranus or Uranus?
There you go. Computer animation production started on the project on October 31st, 1996 and took more than 4.5 years to complete. There are 36 unique locations in Shrek, more than any other computer animated film at the time.
So I want to mention this when you're talking about this. You remember using computers in 2001, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you remember how effing slow they were?
Yep.
Now imagine trying to animate a movie at this level for a 90-minute movie. How long would that have taken?
Apparently 4.5 years.
Hell, it took me like 4 minutes to load up a picture in 2001 from the internet.
Right. Jeez, those were the days. Shrek became DreamWorks' mascot for the company's animated productions. Donkey was the easiest character to sketch since no one knew what a talking donkey would look like. He looked very different in the early drafts, more akin to Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. The film's art director, Douglas Rogers, visited a Magnolia plantation in Charleston, South Carolina to do research for the look of Shrek's swamp. He ended up getting chased by an alligator. The things we do for movies.
Hang on. You're not outrunning an alligator.
Whatever, man. I didn't do any extra research. He got chased by one. I'm not calling him a liar.
Yeah, chase may be a strong word. He probably jumped out and... Or he might have just kept running. He didn't realize the alligator wasn't chasing him. He didn't care. He just kept running.
Yeah. Shrek showering in the mud and bathing in water were two of the hardest things to animate in the movie. Any scene involving fire also proved difficult.
Yeah, because it was 2001 and it took us an hour and a half to download a song from Napster before we crashed our parents' computer.
You see why I'm thinking that 60 million was kind of low?
Yeah.
Here's the next one that makes me think 60 million is kind of low. The film has 31 sequences with 1,288 shots in every sequence total.
That's a lot of that's a lot of shots.
Yeah. Like it just seems like it would have been more expensive to do all this stuff. Anyways, during the ogres are like onion scene, the sunflowers in the background are facing the sun, which is actually what sunflowers naturally do. Shrek's production was so grueling that DreamWorks allegedly used it as a sort of punishment. Animators who made mistakes on the Prince of Egypt movie were reassigned to Shrek. This became known as getting Shreked.
All right.
In 2020, the film was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant, making it the first DreamWorks animation film to earn that honor. It was also the first animated feature film from the 21st century, the first PG-rated animated feature film. The rest of the animated films in the National Film Registry are either rated G or didn't get rated by the MPAA at all. The first non-Disney animated feature film, and the first non-Pixar computer animated feature film to be inducted.
This movie is incredibly culturally significant.
Agreed. The song All Star by Smash Mouth, heard in the opening credits, was only a placeholder for test screenings until a new song could be found. But test audiences loved it and the producers kept it in. When the producers decided to keep All Star, they decided to let the band perform the last song in the movie, I'm a Believer, which has become one of the series' theme songs and was chosen specifically because of the line, I thought love was only true in fairy tales.
Great song.
Yep. The scene where Princess Fiona burps was written after a recording session where Cameron Diaz burped after drinking Coca-Cola. Eddie Murphy improvised Donkey's response to Shrek, she's as nasty as you are. When the fairy tale creatures arrive at Shrek's swamp, you see Papa Bear comforting Baby Bear at a fire. Later, in Lord Farquaad's castle, as he watches Fiona on the mirror, you see Mama Bear as a rug, skinned and laying on the floor.
Oh, God.
Her ultimate fate, however, seems to be okay since she reappears in the video DVD karaoke scene, dancing with Papa and Baby Bear.
I was going to walk on that rug and say, this rug is just right.
Perfect. Prior to the release, the movie was viewed by DreamWorks lawyers since there were concerns that Disney would sue over the movie's not-so-subtle satirical references to the company's films and theme parks.
Not subtle is an understatement.
Speaking of which, the song "Welcome to Duloc," which is sung by the wooden dolls in the cabinet at the entrance to Duloc, is
So
not only
funny.
a parody of Disney's "It's a Small World," but it is in the same key and has the same beats per minute as the Disney song.
So funny. So funny.
Wipe your shoes, wash your face, wash your face. Co-director Andrew Adamson frequently found himself at loggerheads with Jeffrey Katzenberg over the film's adult jokes. Katzenberg thought that some of the more adult material was inappropriate for an animated film. Adamson disagreed. Adamson will be perceived as winning the argument, as many critics liked the film for the fact that it didn't just pander to underage audiences.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts of this movie.
Yep. In 2007, Katzenberg said that the film not only saved the company financially speaking, but it gave DreamWorks Animation an image that allowed them to make Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, and How to Train Your Dragon. So would have got none of those without Shrek, and Kung Fu Panda is worth it.
Yeah, we may have to do we may do a Jack Black movie for my birthday.
Nice. Hell yeah. So down for Jack Black. I always sing the opening song to Tenacious D, Pick a Destiny randomly at work. Anyways, Shrek saying to Donkey, "That'll do."
Whoa, hang on. You want to do the first part, or you want to do the last of at least of the first verse of the song?
A long time ago in a town called Kickapoo, there lived a humble family, religious through and through. But yea, there was a black sheep, he knew just what to do. His name was Young JB, and he refused to step in line. A sea of fucking rocking fucking cackles all the time. He wrote a tasty jam, and all the planets did align. Oh, the dragon's balls ablaze. I stepped into his cage. I sliced his fucking cackle with a long and shiny blade. Well, 'twas I who fucked a dragon, fuck a licing, fuck a loo. And if you try to fuck with me, then I shall fuck you too. That's what I got.
Gotta get it on in the party zone. Gotta suck a chode in the party zone.
Loved it. Shrek saying to Donkey, "That'll do, Donkey, that'll do," is a reference to the 1995 film Babe, about a farmer and his sheep herding pig.
That'll do, pig.
Yep. The dragon has a cookbook that includes choice cuts and the diagram of a knight chopped up.
What are you going with? What are you going with on the knight? Backstrap?
For sure. The film borrows a few ideas from Disney films. Examples include Fiona singing with the Bluebird, which is a parody of Snow White. Shrek and Donkey gazing at the stars is a parody of The Lion King, when Simba is taught about the great kings of the past. Fiona becoming a permanent ogre via mist is a parody of Beauty and the Beast, where Beast returns human. And Donkey flying is a parody of Peter Pan and Dumbo. Oh, in just over 4 weeks, the film became the best-selling DVD of all time, with more than 5.5 million DVDs sold to consumers in North America. The Big Green Ogre surpassed the previous record holder, Gladiator, which has sold over 5 million units in 1 year. Retailers purchased a total of 7.3 million Shrek DVDs, and DreamWorks had to continue manufacturing new copies in an effort to selling out of the product prior to the holidays. This unprecedented rate of sale confirms that the Shrek DVD is sought after by not only the DVD collector, but also by the wide range of Shrek movie fans, including families with kids, teenagers, adults, and everyone in between.
We need to do if the internet starts taking over and we need to turn it off and we have no more streaming services, what's the 10 DVDs you're buying?
Maybe that'll be one of our movie-related talks. It's not a bad one. Though Shrek bears a striking whole-body resemblance to the late wrestler Maurice Tillet, the French Angel, DreamWorks has neither confirmed or denied the rumor that Shrek was modeled on Tillet.
I kind of thought it was old Dusty Rhodes.
This is our wrestling segment. I have wrestling trivia. It keeps going.
Oh, yeah.
When the masked executioner Thelonious is singing, is it a direct reference to a Slacker 2 commercial that the WWF character Kane, who also wears a mask, appears singing karaoke?
I do not remember Karaoke Kane.
Right. Director Andrew Adamson chose to replace the earlier tournament scene with the WWF spoof because to add the wrestling sequence to the already scripted competition would have made the scene too long. If you're doing comedy and parody, you want to stick to one idea to keep it clean. We felt like that sequence worked best as mainly a WWF parody. Before, it was basically just a whole lot of gags around traditional tournament ideas, guys coming out, jousting, and Shrek grabbing the jousting pole and flipping them over. We would have still done the thing where he knocked a spigot out of the ale keg and turned the whole field to mud, and we had him water skiing or mud skiing behind one of the horses holding on to the horse's tail. It's an aesthetic choice you make as you're going.
Nah, Shrek off the top rope with the Rob Van Dam 5-star frog splash. Much better idea.
Yep. Now for my casting trivia. Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and John Lithgow have all appeared in projects where they played multiple characters. Mike Myers with Austin Powers,
Yeah.
Murphy with the Nutty Professor movies, and Lithgow in Third Rock from the Sun. Chris Farley was originally cast as Shrek and even recorded almost all the dialogue. However, after his death, the role was given to fellow Saturday Night Live performer Mike Myers. Shrek's air quotes in the film is a homage to Farley, whose character Bennett Bauer also used air quotes. A story reel featuring a sample of Farley's recorded dialogue was leaked to the public in August 2015. And I want to hear it.
I was going to ask if you've heard it yet.
No, I have not. This is kind of cool. Steven Spielberg was originally going to produce the film in 1991 when he was in charge of Amblin Entertainment. Then the film would have been in hand-drawn animation and was going to star Bill Murray as Shrek and Steve Martin as Donkey.
I feel like that should be the other way. I feel like Steve Martin should be Shrek and Bill Murray should be Donkey.
I see that. But they're both so talented, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, those two guys would work either way.
The late Alan Rickman was the initial casting choice for the role of Lord Farquaad. However, Rickman opted to portray the role of Professor Severus Snape in Harry Potter's The Sorcerer's Stone. Instead, the role ultimately went to John Lithgow. So thanks, Alan Rickman.
Young Potter.
Owen Wilson was considered for the voice of Shrek.
Wow.
Nicolas Cage, our boy Nick Cage, was initially offered the role of Shrek, but turned it down because he did not want to look like an ugly ogre. In 2013, Cage admitted that he regrets the decision and explained, quote, "When you're drawn in a way, it says more about how children are going to see you than anything else, and so I care about that."
Nick Cage is a voice actor in Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, nice. Robin Williams was going to have a role in the film, but he suffered a bitter falling out with Jeffrey Katzenberg when Katzenberg was still working at Disney and refused to work with him.
You know what? Robin Williams as the genie in Aladdin, very close to as good as Eddie Murphy in this movie.
That's true. Don't know why we didn't think about that earlier, but it's totally true. Mike Myers trivia. Mike Myers was hesitant about succeeding the role of Shrek from Chris Farley due to them being friends and believing it was disrespectful to do so. But after thinking it over and the producers all telling Myers, "Can't we just settle this over a pint?" he decided to take on the role, and that line was eventually used in the final cut of the film. When Mike Myers came on board, he insisted on a complete script rewrite to remove any vestiges of Chris Farley's involvement. Myers didn't want to be influenced in any way by Farley's interpretation.
Yeah, good call.
Yep. After Mike Myers completed his dialogue in his own voice and Shrek's animation was being completed, Myers decided he wanted to give Shrek a Scottish accent. Quote, "Once I saw the whole picture, I saw I needed to dig even deeper, and in having Shrek be Scottish, I was able to tap into a certain energy." When Mike Myers' mother, who was from Liverpool, read him books like Barber or Curious George, she often gave British dialects to the characters. Quote from Myers. It was a happy memory of my childhood, and in Scottish, I was able to connect with that. When Mike Myers begged to be allowed to redo Shrek's voice, Katzenberg and his partner Spielberg agreed after hearing a demo, although the decision required the ogre to be reanimated from scratch. That incident cost us about $5 million, said Katzenberg, but it's Mike's total creation. Honestly, it made the movie so much better.
I definitely read my kids' books in accents.
Do you?
And yeah, and they hate it.
Maybe they'll love it after you're dead. Mike Myers was in New York City when they realized that the line, "What are you doing in my swamp?" had never been read. So producer Katzenberg flew to New York City and had Myers read the line in the back of a limo. Thought that was pretty cool.
What they need the limo for. There's recording studios in New York City.
Fucking Mike Myers was busy, bro. It was 2001. He was on top of the fucking world then. Eddie Murphy trivia. Eddie Murphy says the Shrek series is among his best works.
It is.
In an interview once, Eddie Murphy joked that the movie Shrek and his character Donkey became so popular that if he had died the year the movie was released, newspapers would have probably used a picture of Donkey instead of Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy and Katzenberg have known each other since the beginning of their film careers. They promised that one day they would do an animated film together, which accumulated with this film. Katzenberg even recommended Murphy for the part of Donkey and no one else. He thinks it's Murphy's best work. When Donkey goes off alone in the castle to search for stairs, he mutters, "I am the stair master." This same line was spoken by Eddie Murphy in The Nutty Professor after transforming into his character's alter ego, Buddy Love.
God, there's no way that movie ages well, right?
No, but we should watch it and do it on the pod.
Oh, there's no way it ages well.
Absolutely not. This is the second Cameron Diaz movie where her love interest was green. The first being her movie debut, The Mask.
She is stunning in The Mask.
She's a stone cold fox in The Mask. Cameron Diaz, having undergone kung fu training during the making of Charlie's Angels, became very physical in recording her kung fu moves for Fiona's fight with Robin Hood and his merry men, and at times even broke out into Cantonese.
Yep. It's going to be a while before Charlie's Angels makes the podcast.
I agree. John Lithgow trivia. John Lithgow, who voices the dwarf Lord Farquaad, is considered one of Hollywood's tallest actors at 6 feet 4 inches. Lithgow felt that was the joke of his casting.
Definitely. That was definitely in the back of my mind because Lithgow's a tall guy.
Yep.
Is that the joke of Vin Diesel playing Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy? The reverse of that?
Probably. Short fucker. John Lithgow was asked whether or not the adult jokes in the movie would have been too inappropriate for kids. He responds, quote, "No, as long as it's done correctly. One of the things I always loved about British theater was the annual Christmas British pantomimes, which are these corny old fairy tales that are put on as musicals. The principal boy is played by a girl, and the ugly sisters are played by guys in drag. Peter Pan, the musical, was very much in that tradition. It is a particular tradition developed over centuries, this ability to put on a show for the entire family, where the adults and the children are laughing at the same time, at the same jokes for completely different reasons. And the adults like it, particularly because they realize that the kids are oblivious to what's so funny about it. It's a huge electric moment when these jokes pay off, and that's what Shrek is all about. It's very rare. In a way, that's what we were trying to achieve on Third Rock, appealing to lots of different audiences, constituencies at the same moment."
Those plays sound like so much fun to watch.
Right. And then my last trivia is random, but
can we do one of those in Christmas here, and me and you play the stepsisters and Cinderella as we're dressed in drag?
100% we can.
Just full beards.
Awesome. My last bit of trivia has me a little excited. There is a shot-for-shot remake called Shrek Retold that was released on the internet in 2018. It has gained 2.8 million views on YouTube since March 2019. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to look it up.
I don't know what to expect.
I don't either. I'm excited. Shrek Retold. That's what it's called. That's all my trivia. Wasn't that so fucking much?
That was great, though.
Yeah, it was good trivia on this one. All right. Movie impersonations.
You got your Shrek voice on?
Of course, it's just Fat Bastard. I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. First. All right, good.
Yeah. Dr. Evil, I got the new proposition for you. You can keep the mojo. No, you can keep your money, and you can have the mojo. If I can have your baby, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Ribs. Chilies. Baby back ribs. There we go.
Better singing of the Chili's Baby Back Rib song, Fat Bastard or Michael Scott?
Fat Bastard.
Okay. I know, I say, oh, good Lord. I saved the princess, but she wasn't my type. Why am I Jason Statham? Anyway, I'm going to go with this because I got a really funny joke. But this is Jason Statham, not fucking Shrek, okay? I don't like the princess. I like my women thick and green. And my pal Donkey taught me about a special move. It's called the donkey punch, where I'm behind her and I just punch her right in the stomach and then she kicks me off. And it kind of went Scottish at the end.
That's okay. It was great. The donkey punch was amazing. Final thoughts on the movie. What's your rating, BJ? What's your rating of this incredible, all-time great animated movie?
9.4.
I'm going to go 9.5. That way I can round it up to 10 if I need to.
Okay. It's a top 5 animated movie of all time. No question. There's not a part of this movie that's not good.
Yep.
It is a very culturally significant movie. And it's a freaking animated cartoon about an ogre.
Yep. So good. Should they remake it?
I mean, how many Shreks and spin-offs of Shrek are there?
Right. Just keep making those. You ready for my reviews?
Yeah, because, like I said, I don't know who could write a bad review for this movie.
So I texted you because we were both dealing with shit, apparently, because you had to watch the movie right before we recorded. I had to watch the movie right before we recorded. You've got kids. And I'm just like, if you have time, I have not gotten to reviews yet. And you were like, nope, not going to happen. Figure it out, review man. And
I did my part.
Yeah. I'm glad that you didn't read them because you're going to enjoy these so much more. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 10 out of 10s I'm going to read you because that's how great they were.
Wow.
You might literally just get on there and just scroll through the 10 out of 10s because they're straight comedy. After scroll, like I have 4 here, right? I think I read 7. And I was like, I got what I needed. I don't need to look anymore. I'm sure there's other great ones. By Brian W20, 10 out of 10, titled 10 out of 10. How dare you trifling ass bitches give this masterpiece a 7.8 rating? If you give this anything less than 9 stars, we can fight in the Taco Bell parking lot.
Trifling ass bitches.
Brian W20, you're welcome on the pod, my friend.
Oh, no doubt.
All these people are welcome on the pod, just by the way. B. Smith, 9724031. 10 out of 10, titled A Cinematic Masterpiece. This movie really confronts the problems of society, such as the opioid crisis, domestic abuse, and donkey mistreatment head on. It was a great way to talk about these issues with my teenage son.
All right, yeah. So if you're listening to this podcast, the next time you're sitting around drinking with your buddies and you don't have anything to do, just go on IMDb and start reading the 10-star reviews to each other.
Yep, from just Shrek. Matt Carter -054068 titled 10 out of 10 titled Shrektacular. The originality of this cinematic masterpiece is striking, as it expertly, there's three X's in this expertly, as it expertly blends layers of popular Indo-European fairy tale culture with a creative, meaningful, yet comedic story of discrimination, valor, love, and lust for power. Overall, it is a true must-watch for fairy tale fanatics of all ages. You are what you eat.
Outstanding review, my man. Outstanding. Right? I loved it.
I love the overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how he said that the movie has layers.
Yeah. From AK Lily -7318117. Titled Amazing. I love this movie. I watch it every day. The soundtrack is so good. I know the script. This movie butters my apricots and waters my toast. I named my firstborn son Shrek, and he is depressed. But then he watched Shrek all the day, and now he happy, and also happy is he. My dream is to meet Shrek one day, and hopefully that day is soon. My dog is not a dog. He is a donkey. I don't have a dog, so actually it is pretty cool. So now I have a donkey and not a dog.
Honestly, exactly what I thought when I finished watching this movie.
This movie butters my apricots and waters my toast.
My thoughts exactly.
Aren't you so glad you didn't look at these?
Oh, God, those are... And you said they're all good? Or at least the first 7?
The first 7 were great. I didn't keep reading. I only assumed they were that good, because out of 7, I found those 4.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, now for the loser of the pod. KitKat-127. 1 out of 10, titled A Big Thumbs Down. What a waste of time and money. I never laughed once during this dismal attempt at making a fairy tale with a meaningful message. Mike Myers obviously wanted to share his gross out Austin Powers style comedy with a younger generation, adding some adult innuendo to keep the parents titillated. The film's animation, while technically superior, is cold and unappealing. Unfortunately, the voice actors provide little entertainment, especially Eddie Murphy in his stock loudmouth idiot role.
I have never heard a review that is more wrong about everything.
An enormous cast of animated creatures in a fantasy landscape do not compensate for the lack of soul in this anti-Disney tirade from a disgruntled ex-employee. I spent the first half hour waiting for the funny part, and the rest of the film waiting to leave the theater. If I had to do it over, I would have walked out sooner. In a movie
the first funny part happens when he says, like, that's ever gonna happen, and rips the page out and wipes his ass. It happens 4 seconds into the movie.
In a movie that supposedly, although in a satirical way, has a message of tolerance, there are too many familiar stereotypes and cruel jokes spread around. I'm not surprised that Shrek has enjoyed a wide audience. It is the same drivel that passes for comedy in many films these days. Notably, There's Something About Mary, American Pie, Dumb and Dumber, the Ace Ventura movies, and anything from Mike Myers. Juvenile bathroom humor is the lowest form of comedy and is meant to appeal to the whiny adolescent in all of us. What a shame studios are producing films that demand the viewer be brain dead. Rating 1 star out of 10.
So you mean American Pie, where the guy unknowing or films a woman who does not know she's being filmed naked? Ace Ventura, where he talks out of his butt. There's something about Mary where she uses semen as hair gel.
Yeah.
And you're comparing those to, you're thinking that and this is the same thing?
Yeah.
Fuck at it. I've never read a review that was more wrong about everything.
Right. It's so bad.
This movie is nothing but charm. This movie is total charm. The voice actors are everything in this movie.
Yep. But yeah, that was, the good reviews were so good. That one was so good at being bad. And the question of the pod, the most important question, should people watch this movie? And the answer is a fuck to the yes.
Even if you haven't seen it in like 6 months, just go watch it.
Yep. Just do it. Nice.
Just do it, donkey.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do. But yeah, that's us at IRMFT Pod. You can find us on the social medias. We don't ever post anymore. But you can find us. We're there.
We're there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily active.
Yeah. But hope y'all enjoy Shrek. Next week, we have no idea what we're doing. And we'll see y'all next week.
Until next time. Bye.
Nice.